G'day Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. I'm a bit fired up. A close loss to the Warriors. We're outmatched, outmuscled, but fought like cage lions, tried our best to win. All players defended like Trojans, and we did our best, but went down in a thriller. Disappointed to say the least. Expected questions to be asked as to why, again, for the fourth week we have failed to utilise our 17th player, and in most weeks failed to really use the 16th player. But that's a question the media should ask, and it hasn't been asked, so we won't get an answer. And I'm not going to sit there and speculate as to why, but I think it's a fair question to ask, and I'd like to hear people's opinions, which either support the coach and his methods, or give their ideas on what they think has happened there. We might get some interaction on that question, who knows? If not, it's out there. I've put it out there. But, as it says, will Gus Gould defend our player, Kyle Flanagan, who has been attacked by Paul Crawley? Now, the reason I say this is that even winning games, they've decided in the media that Kyle Flanagan, from the news media, who owned the team that he played for and who he rubbished, funnily enough, have been suggesting that he should come in. Darcy McDonald, Paul Crawley, have been all talking up Kyle Flanagan. And as soon as we lose that match, he has singled out Kyle Flanagan as the reason we lost that game. And let's be honest, there's lots of fans that are happy to jump on that train. So essentially, Paul Crawley, his words were last year that Canterbury, the club, Phil Gould included, the coach, Trent Barrett, have tried to destroy the confidence of Kyle Flanagan, have tried to embarrass him and torture him. And then, after being 1-3 to start the season and being flogged by the Storm 44-0, after 3 very close games in which we won the first one against the Cowboys, he said that they were making Kyle a lamb to the slaughter, bringing him in as the 7 for a match against the reigning premiers Penrith. Now, we all know what happened after then. Phil Gould defended himself, explained the Flanagan situation. I defended that. And I defended Gus and the club. Now Paul Crawley is the one provoking that the club should put Kyle Flanagan into the 7 already, after numerous articles stating, how he's been sponsored by Laundy, how he's been the star in New South Wales Cup, knowing most people don't watch it. He's done some good things and he's a talent. I think our club will build around this kid, no doubt. But we all know the recipe of putting a kid in to take a spine position in a young spine without a forward pack. We all know how that ends. It doesn't end good. And I'm hoping that I'm proven completely wrong with that. But if you're going to go on history and recent history, it's a failed manoeuvre, okay? And we all know it. So let's destroy the confidence of Kyle Flanagan while we completely destroy the confidence of Kyle Flanagan. So Paul Crawley has laid down the gauntlet and has given and opened the door for Phil Gould to prove Paul Crawley wrong. And how does Phil Gould do that? How does our club do that? How does our coach do that? We come out and we defend Kyle Flanagan. And we tell the fans, we tell News Corp that we will decide when Kyle Flanagan, makes his first grade debut and how he makes that debut. And we will decide when Kyle Flanagan either plays on with us or moves on. That'll be a Canterbury decision, not a media decision or a fan decision. Okay, that's what has to happen. And I'm calling on the club silence is golden a lot of the time, and I get that, and you can't respond to every article. But when there is a four-pronged attack, when Cam Smith comes out and sort of suggests the same thing, he's had enough time, I'm sure he could do it if he was confident, it's his confidence, sort of passively, aggressively saying the same thing. And when all these are posted on Facebook groups across, on Bulldogs pages, on NRL pages, it draws the line in the sand. It says, okay, are you really out to protect Kyle Flanagan, who in fact has been responsible for some, probably 5 or 6 try-saving tackles on his own, one-on-one, this season, who has had more try involvements down his side than Burton on the other side, that has conceded less points, with knowing that the middles, who have fought like absolute Trojans, and our edges trying their best to hold on when they're completely outmatched in the middle, and have done a remarkable job, knowing all of that and how that affects the space and time and effectiveness of the spine and the halfback especially, knowing all that, are we going to allow News Corp and other media and Facebook groups and fans that don't understand how it works, are we going to allow that rhetoric just to play out? Because you know what happens when you do that? When you don't respond to that, you prove Paul Crawley right. That we didn't handle Kyle Flanagan properly, we didn't take care of him, we didn't, say the right things when they needed to be said. And that's the whole point. Averillo will be the next one they target. He'll be the next. Knowing that, they've signed other players and they should move on. He'll be the next one, even though I thought he's done a great job in attack and tried his heart out in defence. Right now it's Flanagan. And right now the club has the opportunity to defend that player's honour and to do more about, protecting the rhetoric that's going around at the moment, which is all about a New South Wales Cup player that's 19, who's achieved nothing yet, is being told by News Corp that he should come in and replace Flanagan, an NRL player of 60-something games, after 4 games of the season. How is that protecting Kyle Flanagan? How is that protecting our club? How is that proving Paul Crawley wrong in what he said? So Paul Crawley's opened the door for Gus to come in and essentially close it. And if they don't, if Gus or Aaron or Cameron don't put that speculation to bed and take care of it, essentially they're saying that they don't care about the welfare of Flanagan or his family, and they're allowing him to be eaten by the wolves. If we had middles yesterday and we dominated that ruck, and if we were playing the ball with no markers like the Warriors were on about 15 occasions, and we didn't ice the game and do things, if we had the energy, if we were on top and dominant over the whole game, it didn't matter that we were in front and could have won. What matters is how the game unfolded. We were gassed again and had every right to be. And the coach was right about that. They tried their hearts out defensively and just couldn't hold on. And that's exactly what happened. But that's not an excuse to come out and blame Kyle Flanagan. And nor should News Corp be doing it. But we know what News Corp does. Its job is to look after its advertisers and create stories. And that's what it does. Even if it's a complete contradiction to what the same journalist said last year. So is our administration, is Gus and the club going to defend the honour of Kyle Flanagan? Are they going to do that? Are they going to put Paul Crawley to the sword? Because it won't matter to Paul Crawley. He'll be able to say, Gus is full of shit anyway, tells lies, blah, blah, blah. They'll probably drop Flanagan in 3 weeks anyway, which might happen anyway. But still, they need to do it. They need to protect the player. They need to tell the story on how the games have unfolded. And honestly, if they believe the rhetoric, come out and say that as well. And I think that's more likely of what will happen. They'll prove Paul Crawley right, and they'll say nothing and just bring Oluwapu in probably way too early. Honestly, the club should be battening down the hatches, shutting the media up, and getting that us first them mentality going again. Fuck the media, and fuck everyone else. Fuck the NRL. And let the Bulldogs get down to business. That's when we're at our best. It's always been our way. We've always been criticised and mocked by other fans and other clubs, by people, and that's how we get down to business. They can say what they want about us. They can promote us however they want. They can give bad calls against us. Doesn't matter. Backs to the wall. We come out and produce our best players on the field. That's what I want to see our club get back to. Stop trying to cater to the media and respond to their, by saying nothing and just accepting what happens out there. Like, come off it. Are you kidding me? The amount of obstructions that aren't called against us, and then the complete opposite happens, as we saw. They decide to reinterpret a rule, or they come out and say Fanua Blake was a support player when he was in front of Johnson. How does that work? You can't be in support when you're offside, mate. It's as simple as fucking that. And I don't care. That's the rule. So, when is our club going to stand up to this? And when I say our club, I mean the management of our club that we entrust and employ to do the job for us. So, I don't like being too critical of our club, of our management and all that sort of stuff. I get on board with most of the decisions, and when things happen that I didn't agree with, I move along and I find a way to support it. I do that. But I want to know, how's our club going to stand up to Paul Crawley and let him know that we do have our players' best interests at heart, and that Kyle Flanagan isn't the scapegoat for what happened on the weekend. We're 2-2 with the best results across for and against that we've had in the first opening 4 rounds for a very, very long time. And to start attacking one player when we've had no middles to hold up, no real bookends to get things done, no impact off the bench, like, come off it. They're all trying their heart out. We're undermanned, and Flanagan should be commended for the defence that he's done in such a tough situation. Not the opposite. Not blame. Not being the problem, or the fact we haven't won or didn't do anything, and then just say, where was he and why didn't he do anything? Well, they kept going the other way, of course. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Thanks to everyone who supported the channel. Thanks to all the new people who listen and give comments. I really, really appreciate it. It's just, I'm happy just to do this for as long as I can. I enjoy the banter, the chatter, and some of the friendships I've made out of it, to be honest. So thank you so much, and I really, really appreciate it. Take care.